Brian Wilson, Mary Catherine Ham, Brian Neiman, today's newsmakers, and you, the Morning Majority. 105.9 FM, AM 630. WMAL.
737 on WMAL. Katie McFarland, Fox News national security analyst, host of FoxNews.com's DEFCON 3 show, 2 o'clock on Wednesday, joins us now. So we always talk national security with you. Can I throw you a curveball, though?
Sure.
What did you think last night of the Iowa caucus?
I wrote a piece on the Fox News website a couple of days ago saying that the GOP primaries and the Iowa caucuses are like a woman who goes shoe shopping.
All right.
She knows she can only buy one pair of shoes, and they've got to last all year. She's got to be able to afford them. Mm-hmm. She's got to be able to wear them in all conditions. So she thinks, I'm going to get the pair of black pumps. Mm-hmm. Boring, but I'm going to get them. And then she walks into a shoe store, and she sees these unbelievable, adorable white strappy sandals. So she tries those on, and they look great. Mm-hmm. And then she sees the hot, sexy spike heels, the red patent ones. So she tries those. They look terrific. And so then she tries on the black, shiny hip boots. They look great, too, but they're way over budget. So then she thinks, well, and then she said, but, the white strappy sandals, they're not going to look very good in the winter. And plus, white's so hard to keep clean. Well, those hot red spike heels, they're going to look great standing at a cocktail party. But no way she's going to be able to even walk to the garage to get the car. And those black patent leather boots, they're going to look really great with a miniskirt in the winter, but absolutely absurd when it's 95
I'm
degrees.
Totally tracking with you right now, KT.
So who's the black shoes?
It's got to be wrong.
But I think we should go with the red spike heels. Just me.
Well, if
sorry,
you want to wear the red spike heels,
I'm not going to say.
That's going to make the news.
I'm not going to wear them. I just like to look at them.
I like that assessment. That's very good. I think that may be our best analysis so far of what's going on with Republicans and what happened last night in Iowa. So I pick up the Washington Post this morning. It says the Taliban is suggesting peace talks with the U.S. I look into a little bit deeper. There's a newspaper, The Guardian, in the UK, reporting that there's even some talk about us releasing some Taliban guys that we have at Guantanamo Bay in exchange for setting up some kind of peace group out of Qatar. What is all of this about, and is it really feasible?
Well, and then there's a third story, I think, which is actually the most significant, which is at the urging of the Afghan Taliban, the 4 major Pakistani insurgent groups. There's no one Taliban. There are a lot of Talibans. And one of the strengths that we've had, not that we've had many, has been that they fight each other as much as they've been fighting us. But now they all are going to join together with the Haqqani Network. The Haqqani Network is the one Taliban group that has been the most successful at killing Americans in Afghanistan. So if all the Taliban groups get together as one united Taliban group, figuring that they're going to not fight each other for now, they're going to fight us, and then someday they'll go back to fighting each other once we're gone. But that is the most significant thing of all. And what I think it means is that with the United States leaving Iraq, it looks like Iraq is now going to have some internal problems of its own. It's not going to be the pro-American democracy that everybody was promised. That now the Taliban realizes this is their moment in Afghanistan, push America out of Afghanistan too. And I think particularly with the defense budget cuts that are coming, where it's not going to be possible for us to fight 2 wars. We're already fighting one, and if we're going to get down to one war, that's the one war we have. That's the one war we're going to want to get out of.
But the military has been and wants to talk to the Taliban, and that's been going on for years.
Yeah.
But this possibility of an actual peace talk with a summit of some sorts or some kind of organization that is based in Qatar. I mean, is there any possibility to that? It sounds like, at least from one article, that the U.S. is thinking about that.
I think the U.S., the White House leadership wants out. And they want to walk out of there in a way that it's not going to damage President Obama's reelection chances. And so what they want is some kind of a fig leaf to allow them to get out quick. They don't care what happens in December next year. They just want out and out as quickly as possible before the election and let it hold together as long as possible before the election to enhance Obama's credibility as a national security expert. Because he can't do it as a guy who's fixed the economy. So I think that's what you're seeing. The United States is looking around to see is there any fig leaf, any kind of negotiated solution they can have. And it makes some sense. We have for years tried to sort of take the Taliban and break it apart. So that we've tried to find the reconcilable Taliban, the guys who would lay down their arms and join the, stop fighting and join the Afghan country and obey its laws. We've tried to peel them off. We've been very unsuccessful with that. The Taliban have continued to fight. And so now what we're looking is there some way to make some kind of an agreement where the Taliban, whichever Taliban, decides that they're going to lay down their arms, join the government, and let us get out. Now, if they do that, if they sign something like that, they'll sign it for about 6 minutes.
KT, in Egypt, they're going into the third round of elections here. The Muslim Brotherhood poised to take an outright majority. And the New York Times reports today that the U.S. policy on engaging the Muslim Brotherhood shifting, a historic shift to reach out to these guys, sort of an acknowledgement of the reality on the ground, but also feels sort of ominous.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody's surprised. I mean, that when we kicked Mubarak out, or we pulled the rug out when the Obama administration pulled the rug out from under Mubarak, what was going to ultimately happen? Well, it was always going to be the Muslim Brotherhood, because they're the only group that has been well-organized, ruthless, and has been around for an awful long time. It's very difficult for new political parties to spring up in a matter of weeks and months to somehow take the stage and win at the ballot box. It's going to be the Muslim Brotherhood. And that's why people like me all along have been saying, look, it's not so great that we pulled the rug out from under Mubarak. It's not so great that this Arab Spring is going to end up in some happy pro-Western secular democracy. I don't think so. I mean, when it first started happening, I said the dominoes are going to fall one way or another. We just don't know which direction. You might see a situation where they all fall in the direction of Western democracies, so that from the Mediterranean to the Persian Gulf, you'll see pro-Western, democratic, secular governments. I don't think so. But that was the hope that the Obama administration and many of the more optimistic neocons held out. On the other hand, you could see the dominoes falling exactly the other direction, that you have Islamist governments that are not pro-American, that are hostile to American interests, and they're hostile to Israel. And I think that's what you're starting to see in Egypt.
All right, I need to talk to you. We got just a second here about Iran. The commander of the Iranian Armed Forces said that the USS John C. Stennis should not come back through the Strait of Hormuz. And he says, do not come back. It's a threat to us, and we do not repeat our words twice.
Please.
And the United States, of course, says, suck it. We'll do what we dadgum well please. But tensions are sort of increasing in the area.
Definitely. 2012 will be the year of reckoning with Iran. A year from now, either Iran will be a nuclear weapons state, and so will the rest of the Middle East, or a year from now, we the West, will figure out how to stop them, either by bombing the nuclear sites or by crashing their economy. I'm all for crashing their economy. And what we need to do immediately right now is to say that Strait of Hormuz is staying open no matter what, and the United States Fifth Fleet is there to guarantee it, so that there is no ambiguity on the part of Iran. Iran is going to look around to try to cause problems. They know that if we impose these sanctions that Obama signed over the weekend, that their economy could crash. And so they're trying to show, this is a shot across the bow at Obama saying, don't you dare impose those sanctions, because if you do, we're going to have a hissy fit and close the Strait of Hormuz.
The John C. Stennis and its 20 ships in the battle group say otherwise. That's right. KT, thank you so much. Good to have you.